Happy Friday, darlings. How are y'all doing? It is a wonderful Friday. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, and good day. For wherever you guys are listening from. Oh, I had a wonderful day. I woke up late. I didn't have to go to work. I am all kinds of refreshed, honey. All kinds of refreshed. And guess what? I log into my Netflix account and I'm like, ooh, the last two episodes of Love is Blind, season 5, Before the Altar. Who do you think is actually going to make it, like, past the ideal? Mm, 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 mm. I gotta say, none of them. But you know, look, stranger things have happened. It is Love is Blind. It is reality TV. So, like I said, stranger things have happened. So, let's get right on it. This episode, I am calling it I Am Not Here to Make Friends or Be Your Lapdog. Except, I really feel like we should just keep on regurgitating the ghosts of Christmas past. I'm just saying. I mean, we pick up where UCHE is still trying to convince the castmates how great he really is and how unhinged Lydia is for causing Aaliyah to walk away from him. But with the varying perceptions, does it still really matter at this point? Like, why the fact does it still matter? Sorry, just saying. Uche is trying his hardest to convince Milton that Lydia's true intent was for him, Uche, and her, Lydia, in getting back together, literally planning this entire time to get on the show so it could be perceived as quote unquote fate, bringing them back together. While in reality, it was Lydia who put the gears into motion to make Uche fall back in love with her. Well, that's one perspective, right? At least that's the gist of what Uche intended to drive into Milton, hoping against hope that Uche himself could convince our dear lovable nerd, Milton, to think otherwise about his love, Lydia. Milton, however, still had tricks up his proverbial sleeves when he cleverly utilized his geek smarts by telling Uche that their situation, this love quote unquote triangle between Uche, Aaliyah, and Lydia, or Uche, Lydia, and Milton, doesn't have anything to do with him. Zero. Like, zero. Not a shadow, not anything. Like, Milton straight up went STEM professor, STEM professor mode, by giving Uche a definitive answer by way of his engineer's mind. In this way, Milton tells Uche is not the Pythagorean theorem. It's like a multi-dimensional calculus. You're in X direction, Uche. Lydia is on Y direction, and Milton is on Z. So, to underline that point, Milton told Uche, I'm not even adjacent to y'all's direction. I'm on a different parallel line. Like, wow. Mic drop. Moment right there. What the hell else was there left to say? But as we have seen from Uche, oh no, he's not gonna let that shit go just because he's Uche. So, for him to claim that he's a lawyer, that was good as gold to be told, bro. Basically, you need to stop making this happen. Like, enough. Like, I won't be swayed to look at you or Lydia from your perspective. Has nothing to do with me. But Uche and his thick coconut still kept on trying to undermine the core relationship between Milton and Lydia by continuing to attack, very cleverly, I have to add, Milton's resolve in his relationship with Lydia. Like, bro, you already lost this battle. Give it up. You've already been told that your perceptions is your reality, and that's where it stays. Your reality. That's it. Milton is convinced that beyond is not convinced beyond a reasonable doubt that Lydia is the master manipulator that Uche claims her to be. And neither is Milton convinced of Uche's deep friendship for Milton. Like, Milton simply considers it as a blip in his life. It's so minute that it's not worth rehashing and exerting energy over. I'd say that's a level of maturity Uche can only aspire to achieve. No back and forth, no need to cry over spilt milk. No reason to undermine to make one feel better about oneself. It is simply knowing one's place in someone else's life and to leave it where it is when it ends. It had no deeper meaning for Uche that he only dated Lydia, but in his actions belie his true feelings. Dude is hurt. Ego bruised, and he's out for blood. Point blank, period. Too bad, though. Uche thought seeking solace and commiserating with Milton would earn him the credit he's seeking, but sorry, dude. Joke's on you, Uche. And let's not forget Miriam reading Uche to filth. And Uche walking away because she was not here to be talked down to and be cast aspersions on. Not on her person, not her livelihood, not the city she's lived in. The ladies also acknowledged that Uche painting Lydia to be this monster in their midst, waiting to pounce on Aaliyah to take back Uche, was not the reality they all witnessed, having shared the women's quarters together. So, Uche, sorry, dude. If only you had friends like these who would stand with you to correct the fallacy being hurled against you. Ladies, bravo. Bravo. And wait, did we really think Izzy was done trying to prove his superiority over Chris? And trying to break up Johnie and Chris by way of retelling stories about Johnny's feelings for Izzy while they were in the pods to Chris, who is now clearly in a relationship with Johnie, and happily so? I don't get it. Izzy is reaching for Johnie and she's no longer interested. Like, bro, that door closed. That ship sailed. She's in a different continent now. I mean, Izzy was trying to do what? After he cut down Johnie and reveling in hurting her feelings, he has the gall to then try to cast more bad juju in Johnie and Chris's relationship by pretending to care for Chris. That is why he's releasing these one-sided, only between Johnie and himself date talks to Chris to convince Chris to drop Johnie. Is it me or it pains Izzy that Johnie has moved on and Izzy, is obviously second guessing his choice of being with Stacy, whose lifestyle is way above what he can afford? Like 100%. And with Stacy joining the conversation between Izzy and Chris, like two hyenas waiting to pounce, without actually providing complete factual conversations that would enable Chris to at least second guess Johnie, is beyond me. I think Stacy has always felt like Izzy chose her because she's so matter of fact, she's fun, but that she has begun to realize that he truly doesn't love her and perhaps loves her less, except for the potential stability she may espouse as a homeowner whose finances are obviously solid. Is she wrong though? Perhaps, but her energy needs to be directed at Izzy alone and not in the shadow of Izzy and Johnny's quote-unquote relationship in the pots, because she seems to drag that damn bag everywhere she goes and then explodes on Johnie because she is unable to come to terms with the fact that yes, there was Johnie and Stacy and even Lydia, who Izzy had previously been choosing from or developing deeper feelings for or connections while in the pods. A girl, get over yourself. I'm sure you had dated all other guys too. You're not the only homeowner in the world who can travel first class, honey. Honestly. But I have to say, I was waiting for Izzy and Stacy to finally shed this lovey-dovey hashtag I'm unbothered attitude and actually peel back the layers of Izzy's pretend care for Chris, because we know, and ladies, we can always tell, right? It's one of our superpowers that Izzy is just not over Johnie. Stacy directly asks Izzy why he cares so much about Chris and Johnny's relationship. To which Izzy responds that Chris is his friend. Is he though? Is he though? We don't see that deep of a friendship between them in the pods in the episodes we've seen, but okay. Recollections may vary, and perspectives too, but okay. If you say so. And for Izzy, for his part, he finally tells Stacy how he feels, that he just isn't good enough for her. That's what he has told Stacy, that Stacy makes him feel like. Bam. That's the bottom line. There it is, honey. And Stacy does not correct him as he's walking off. I mean, Stacy, girl, your expectations and the reality of your relationship with Izzy is starting to show the cracks. You need to either accept him and his lackluster economic situation compared to yours, or let him go. Or maybe you just like having like the feeling of lording over him with this truth. I don't know. And let's move on to the meeting with the parents or families. First up, we have Izzy's mom. She's expectedly shocked and excited at the same time. I'm sure the emotions are swirling in her, as it should. And she wants to make sure that both Izzy and Stacy are making the right decisions for them, as this is for life. No refunds, no returns. But did y'all catch the change in Stacy's expression and Izzy's death stare at his mother when his mom expressed that she can't help but think if Stacy is the right person for her son? Wow. I don't care for the reassurance that Stacy is trying to tell Izzy's mom. The immediate change in their expressions while Izzy's mom was talking was all that there was for me. It was like Izzy was mentally speaking to his mom to like pump the brakes, because he's finally found someone who can elevate his lifestyle without putting in much effort. Oh my god, that was too funny. That was like gold. It summarizes their relationship for me though. I am not sold on it. I really am not. From the scenes we've seen in the episodes available, it's very superficial for me. Izzy and Stacy's relationship. Next, we have Milton and Lydia meeting Milton's family. Milton's family is more on the reserved side. They are critical, as they should be. And damn, does Milton not know that you need a wine opener to get that cork out of a wine bottle? Like, why the hell is he using his teeth for? Honestly, you can't have them all. You just can't have them all. Jeez. And so, the interrogation on Lydia begins by way of Milton's mother and his sister's suspicions. And the words of Milton's mother, she looks at marriage like a business. And as with any business deals, you should look at the pros and cons and obstacles. And in other words, doing a SWOT analysis. Strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats, which is a tool that, helps business owners or would-be business owners analyze what the company does best now and how to devise a successful strategy in the future to ensure its viability in an ever-evolving market. That woman is not to be tried, because she is always on guard, and she's not about to allow anyone, just anyone, with a great resume to enter into her domain without further analysis. Like, ooh, child. She is like the CIA and the FBI wrapped into one. We need more of her in these shows, though, for sure. For sure. And maybe in our lives. Like, imagine how well behaved we would all be. Oh my god. I can't. But am I, though? Am I, though? And then it is Milton's sister's turn. Oh, whoa. She's scarier than Milton's mother. She damn near gave me goosebumps. She was not here to sugarcoat in her response to Lydia's questions about Jessica, Milton's sister's name. Jessica's feelings or reservations about Lydia and Milton's fast tracked relationship, as she feels she's not seen or felt from Milton that sound, firm assurance that Lydia is really the one. Well, oh my, will they or won't they? Isn't that the question that everybody's kind of like mulling over in their minds now? But before we get ahead of ourselves, as if we didn't already form our own opinions, right? By episode 4, the couples are seen getting their marriage licenses and going off to their wedding dress slash suit fittings. Stacy's family seems to like Izzy for Stacy, but I'm not sold, even as a viewer. Izzy's family, for their part, seems to like Stacy, but it strikes me like the couples are just romanticizing romance to their families as well as themselves so much that they want it to happen at all costs to save face. Or is it just me? As for Milton, he seems to really be anchored in his love for Lydia, but does acknowledge that he's not 100% sure she'll say yes. Lydia, of course, is beyond excited to be trying on wedding dresses because she's been harping about, like, wanting to find love, wanting to be married, wanting to be loved as she is, and all kinds of things to that effect. I still hope I'm wrong in my feelings about their lack of deeper connection. So, sister. I'm glad the siblings are having this talk to express their differing opinions of Milton's relationship and to also share Milton's family's perspective on this as well. Milton does share that the difference between his family dynamics versus Lydia's family, the nuances and subjective layers to their individual and familial closeness, emotional expressions, etc. Jessica is not fully convinced, though, that Milton is making the right decision for what it's worth. She feels like Milton has not sought their family's opinion before making a definitive leap towards marriage. However, Milton does say if his parents or his family are against it, he probably would still move forward with it anyway because he's already made his decision. And so, I guess, yes. He did mention that he also has his standards, which were set for him growing up, such as, like, a minimum education level, career, the drive, emotional stability, and such things. For his sister's part, though, she wants to make sure that Milton has had the crucial conversations with Lydia, such as childcare, parenting styles, potentially taking care of his parents, merging their families. Those important conversations. And they are valid. His sister's concerns are valid. These questions, I feel, are born out of her deep love for her brother, and I don't feel like she or the rest of Milton's family are trying to look down on Lydia. At the very least, not at all. They want to ensure that Lydia knows Milton's family cares for him deeply, and they don't want him to just be sold into this romanticized notion of marriage only to get hurt in the end. But look, Milton's 24. Yes, he is younger than Lydia, but at the same time, he is very well educated enough that he analyzes everything, right? And to a degree and maybe to a fault. So I would like to think that once he has completed his analysis of, like, all the potential outcomes, he's made his decision based on what he felt is right for him. Whether that's going to hurt him or not, it is the decision that he made. So, just saying. But wait, what is this controversy as the next screen unfolds with Izzy and Stacy packing their things to move out of their shared apartment, before the wedding? And it seems there was a conversation that occurred between the two regarding Izzy's finances and debt, which he's still reluctant to admit to or discuss because he feels like he and Stacy has not had a formal opportunity to discuss it. Like, what the fuck? When were you planning to do it? It sounds like an excuse. And it's right for Stacy to call him out on it. That he tends to ramble on to skirt around the issue on purpose. And for Izzy's part, he agrees he does ramble on, but it still sounds like an excuse. Even if he agrees that he rambles on. Dude really thought he could coast all the way to I do, not have to actually admit to his buried secrets. It's just his finance issues. So that Stacy would not have any other recourse because she's already party to it, right? I mean, he claims it's only like a 3,500 like debt, but he also has paid it. So why would that cause you to actually have bad credit though? If it's 3,500 only and you've already paid it, I mean, it just happened like 2 weeks before you got into the show. I don't know. Dude, you are looking sus on your own volition. Like, wow. Johnie, girl, you dodged a huge bullet, sister girl. Huge bullet with that one. Next, we have Milton and Lydia on a date and are hashing out like the mini annoyances that upsets Lydia about Milton, such as his inability to tidy up after himself, like, you know, minor mundane things for some and like major for some, right? Like leaving dirty dishes out for more than a day. Like, hello, dude, do you have a maid or something? Like, for Milton's perspective though, from Milton's perspective, he feels that he's had to compromise so that Lydia doesn't feel judged when he corrects her, going as far as choosing his words carefully so that her feelings do not get unnecessarily hurt or his intentions misconstrued in her mind. So she doesn't take it out of context because of her emotional nature. And it seemed like this is born out of an earlier conversation about UCHE and Lydia's argument. Like, why in the heck are we still hashing out this damn dead horse? Which obviously escalated their argument into who feels hurt, who doesn't, who is and isn't an emotional monster. Basically having two different perspectives on their day to day and like other deeper subjects that they've been circling around, not wanting to tackle, but here they are now. Faced with minute and boulder-sized issues, they at least try to be cognizant of their shortcomings or their inability to corral their behaviors or personalities at times. But will they make it to the altar? My gut feeling is no. Just based off of what I have just seen. No. Am I wrong on it? Usually, I'm not when I go with my gut feeling. But again, stranger things have happened. This is reality TV. What are you guys' opinion on it? Do you think they would? Do you think they wouldn't? I mean, I'm really hoping UCHE does not like show up to any one of these people's like weddings. It would just be too much. Ish, honestly. But we'll have to wait until the 13th of October for the actual I Do's episodes. Off of what we have seen, on the episode 8 and 9, do share your comments in the comment section below. And if you haven't already, click that like button and subscribe to my channel for more snarky snarks courtesy of your Auntie SASSY. Remember, you are all kinds of fabulous, so stay the fabulous person that you are. And to leave grace for others. And most importantly, to journey in gratitude. I shall talk to you